Actors don't need to play a superhero on screen to be a superhero when they're off set, but sometimes it works out that way. There are other actors who have had their heroic moments as well. The way that they live or the things that they do can have a drastic difference on the lives around them. Check out this list that we've compiled for you. Don't forget to like and smash that subscribe button below. Join our notification squad if you haven't already as well, and be sure to check out our playlist. Can you guess which movie these emojis are hinting at? Watch the video to find out shortly after. Jennifer Lawrence. Katniss Everdeen would never leave someone who is in need of help to fend for themselves. Same goes for the actress who plays her. A lot of people have fallen for Jennifer Lawrence, the face of the Hunger Games trilogy. She's also been cast in other great movies. She used her heroic Katniss Everdeen skills and rushed to the aid of a woman outside of her apartment complex in 2012. Lawrence was standing outside of her complex when a woman walking past suddenly passed out on the grass. A male bystander along with Lawrence tried to get the woman to come to before calling the paramedics. Eventually, a group of 6 police officers and paramedics showed up to help the woman. She was later given the all clear by the medical staff. Jennifer assisted the woman wearing yoga pants, flip-flops, and a tank top. She even got down on the ground as she waited for medical help to arrive. Seems like she really is a sweetheart. If you like Jennifer Lawrence already, then this story will probably make you like her even more. If you don't, that's okay. She's making many others proud on and off the silver screen. Keep doing your thing, Jennifer.
I thought we were already friends.
I had a friend once. It didn't work out.
Jamie Foxx. You've heard it a million times before. Heroes come in all shapes and sizes. Jamie Foxx had a heroic moment close to a year ago when a 32-year-old man drove his car into a drainage ditch outside Foxx's home. The man was driving very fast in a California neighborhood and veered off the road. It ended up rolling and catching fire while the driver was still inside. This is the point where Foxx had a Mrs. Doubtfire moment and help was on its way. Foxx came in and helped the EMT cut the driver loose from his seatbelt and dragged him away from the vehicle. Foxx told the man he needed to help get himself out because Foxx didn't want to leave him. He said he had angels around him. Fire crews arrived very quickly and at a good time because the vehicle was engulfed in flames. Who knows what would have happened to that man if Foxx hadn't been there so quickly. Maybe Foxx was right about the angels. If things had gone a little differently, he may not be alive right now. Now, Jamie Foxx hasn't been in any superhero movies, but he pulled a superhero moment when he rescued that man from his car. Zoe Saldana. Most people know Zoe Saldana from her roles in Avatar, the Star Trek movies, and now the infamous Guardians of the Galaxy. She is another that made this list. Zoe ended up rescuing an elderly woman who got in a car crash in Culver City in 2012. Saldana apparently witnessed the car accident and rushed to the scene to help. She was immediately on the phone with 911 and seemed worried. She and another bystander helped the woman from her car to the curb. A picture was released online where she was next to the woman with a gash on her face. Not only did Zoe help her to the curb, but also went back and picked up a couple of the woman's belongings, including a handbag and sweater. The person witnessing all of this added that Zoe was very caring and sweet to the woman. While the ambulance was on its way, Saldana didn't leave. She ended up staying with the woman until help arrived. It wasn't until the actress knew the woman would be okay that she left. If she wasn't adored enough before then, this heroic act she pulled should bump her up a few points.
Good. Now try to hit the same mark again, Rose. You can do it.
Kate Winslet. Kate Winslet ended up surviving an iceberg as Rose in Titanic and has rescued someone from a fire in real life. The person she saved happened to be Virgin Group mogul Richard Branson's mother. A fire broke out at Richard Branson's private island residence in the British Virgin Islands where Winslet and others were staying. His mother was 90 at the time and can walk, but Winslet stepped in and helped her get to safety even quicker. Kate swept up Branson's mother and got them out as fast as she could. Winslet was one of 20 guests who was staying in the 14-bedroom of Branson's nicknamed Great House. Luckily, all of the guests staying there were able to leave safely. Richard Branson has owned the house since 1978. It has been a long-standing favorite of Hollywood starlets and rock icons. Although he lost thousands of photographs and notebooks in the fire, Branson was happy that friends and family were okay. As you can imagine, it is ultra exclusive. It costs roughly $47,000 per day with complete access to the staff as well as endless food, drink, and resort activities. Regardless of the price tag, if you have the money and you want to get away for sunshine and seclusion, the Great House is a great place to go. ago.
And I just couldn't help thinking if I had just caught that bloody train, it would never have happened.
Gwyneth Paltrow. On September 11, 2001, there were lots of heroes in New York. Gwyneth Paltrow happened to be one of them. Shortly following the tragedy of 9/11, a woman named Laura Lundstrom Clark came forward saying the actress Gwyneth Paltrow had saved her life. Paltrow had no idea what she was talking about. The woman stated she was in a rush and ended up jaywalking across 7th Avenue in New York City when Paltrow and her SUV almost hit Laura. Paltrow had apparently gone to a yoga class very early that day, so she was on her way home at the time. Clark and Paltrow both stopped in their tracks and Paltrow allowed her to cross. Clark realized as she started walking again who was behind the wheel. This was another one of those chance opportunities. The collision that almost occurred caused Clark to miss her train, and by the time she got to work, the first plane hit the World Trade Center. 4 people who worked in her office died that day. Clark called it a sliding door moment, referencing Paltrow's 1998 movie, a film in which her character could see how her life would turn out depending on whether or not she caught a certain subway car. Blake Shelton has made quite a name for himself, not only in the country music world, but also being a judge on the popular TV show The Voice. In November of 2015, Shelton helped save 4 young men near the Oklahoma River. One of the men said they were looking at the river when all of a sudden 2 of his friends slid off into a mud hole which they were stuck in for 2 hours. One young man and his friend started walking and Blake Shelton just happened to be there asking if they wanted help. They graciously accepted Shelton's help and waited while he first tried to pull them out with a truck. That wasn't working, so he told them he would be back with his tractor. That ended up doing the trick and the young men were okay. They were surprised at how cool, nice, and caring he was. Blake was kind enough to talk with the guys for a little bit as well as take a couple of pictures. One of the young men took to Twitter shortly after to send his condolences to Shelton. Blake responded with a tweet joking with the guys to stay out of jail. Let's hope they listen to Blake.
And what happens if a car comes?
You die.
Ryan Gosling. Handsome, talented, easy on the eyes. Ryan Gosling seems to have it all. Did you know that he is also a hero? Seriously, back in 2012, he saved writer Laurie Penny from a taxi cab. She had on a new pink wig, and being from London, she was looking the wrong way. Gosling reached out and pulled her back onto the curb. Penny tweeted she was saved by Gosling and couldn't believe what had just happened. Not only was she saved, but by Ryan Gosling, how lucky could you be? People are meant to be in the right place at the right time, and that was probably the best one. Gosling has played many likable characters in the past. Noah from the iconic love story The Notebook, which is probably what he will be known for his entire career. He played the driver in the film Drive, in which he had a love interest played by Carey Mulligan. He played a mysterious, quiet character but had qualities that a woman can appreciate. Starring as Sebastian, the jazz pianist, in La La Land, Gosling and Emma Stone lit up the screen in the Academy Award-winning film, one that struck audiences everywhere. If people didn't care for Gosling before, they probably did after this movie. Harrison Ford. The iconic actor of Indiana Jones and Han Solo, Harrison Ford is not only heroic in his films, but in real life as well. His first time saving someone was a hiker in distress by the name of Sarah George. George and her friend Megan Freeman were hiking the 11,106-foot Table Mountain on July 31, 2000, a climb that would take roughly 5 hours to complete. The combination of heat, altitude, and dehydration left George sick and unable to carry on. Another hiker called in help on a cell phone but didn't know who the rescuer would be. It wasn't made clear until they landed that Ford would be the one rescuing them. Harrison Ford had another aerial rescue of a stranded hiker, this time being a 13-year-old Boy Scout lost in Yellowstone National Park. Ford lives part-time on a ranch near Jackson, Wyoming, and is a certified helicopter pilot. He joined a search party to locate Cody Clausen, a Utah native who had veered off the trail at night. Ford ended up finding Clausen about 5 miles from camp. He landed nearby to pick up the boy wearing nothing but a t-shirt, shorts, and sandals. Clausen was cold, wet, and hungry after spending a night in the wilderness. Tom Holland. It's pretty cool when superheroes can take a break from fighting crime to spread a few smiles in the world. After all, heroes can do any number of things, right? 21-year-old Tom Holland, the new face of Spider-Man, definitely brought some joy to a few kids' lives when he visited the Children's Hospital in Los Angeles. Holland traversed through the wards in his full costume for the film before he removed his mask to speak with the young girls and their parents. He was kind enough to show one patient how his web shooters work and even showed off a little by doing some side flips in the corridor. This isn't the first time Holland has visited a children's Children's Hospital. While filming the upcoming Spider-Man Homecoming in Atlanta, he went to Eagleston Children's Hospital and eventually visited the New York Presbyterian Morgan Stanley Children's Hospital. There he encountered a young fan of DC who argued that Batman was better. Holland was probably a good sport about it and let the kid win. There was no climbing on walls or fighting bad guys in the hospitals, but Tom Holland excited kids and parents alike with his presence. He also posted a couple of pictures on Instagram with heartfelt captions of love and compassion. Good on you, Tom Holland. Gal Gadot. You probably know Gal Gadot as the new face of Wonder Woman. What you may not have known is that off-screen she still holds that title for many reasons. Gadot served in the Israel Defense Forces for 2 years. This was required of her as conscription is mandatory in Israel for anyone over the age of 18. Gadot is said to have undergone 3 months of grueling boot camp before she was given her assignment. While in the military, Gadot was assigned the role of combat trainer. Her job required her to teach troops gymnastics and calisthenics, which they loved her for because it made them fit. Her military service has definitely come in handy, preparing her for life in Hollywood. What she didn't expect was that training for the role of Wonder Woman would be even harder than training for the military. Gadot trained for 6 hours a day 6 months prior to shooting. Training involved gym work, flight choreography, and horseback riding. Another intriguing fact about Gadot that has been circling around is that she was 5 months pregnant during filmmaking. She wasn't visibly showing during the initial production, but by the time she had to do some reshoots, she was. Gadot stated she looked like Wonder Woman pregnant with Kermit the Frog on wide shots. What did you think of this list we compiled for you? Did you know these actors were heroes? Maybe you'll think even more highly of them now. The answer to the movie emoji is... well, did you guess correctly? Be sure to comment below and watch our playlist. Thanks for watching.